New Boston chapter. My name is Tony Huang. I'm the founder of TechExecs. With me is Chuck Chiali. He's the CIO for Teradyne. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what are you going to be sharing with everyone today?
Well, I'd like to talk a little bit about Teradyne's business and what's happening in our business, and then fold that into what we're doing in IT. One of the things that we're looking at in terms of our business, much more driven by consumer use of semiconductors. In fact, the industry is by far driven by consumer applications for semiconductors. So we manufacture test equipment, and what I see happening is the innovation that we see in the industry is much more driven by consumer technology than enterprise technology, which it had been in the past. And I see that happening in IT as well. So enterprise IT, if you think of what's sexy, what's hot, what people want to do, they don't think of enterprise IT.
Yeah, like taking an iPhone into the company.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we're starting a project right now. We've piloted about 40 people using iPhones, iPads, Androids to access our collaboration environment. We're a Lotus Notes collaboration environment, and they can't get enough of them.
Is that an increasing in budget that you have to consider, or is that?
Well, the other thing that I think will happen is, so we're not a corporate liable mobile phone plan, so people buy their own mobile phones, and what we say is we support BlackBerry. So if you want access to the enterprise system environment, it's got to be a BlackBerry. So we'll just move that to more of a choice, and people will purchase an iPhone or an iPad or whatever. We want to really provide an environment where people can connect with anything, anytime, anywhere. So that's what I see happening in IT right now. So as a driver.
So today's topic's on what's impacting the CIO office, and is the topic of cloud or social networking impacting?
Social networking, we've experimented with blogs and wikis, and those have to come from the ground up.
Right.
And we've had adoption, but in my experience at Teradyne, the adoption is another place to store files, right? Rather than collaboration. So that hasn't really blossomed at Teradyne. Virtual networking, virtualization, choice. I think that's the kind of drivers that we're seeing in our business right now. So.
From a virtualization perspective, is that something like that the CEO and CFO is actually also looking at besides yourself?
I get questions about virtualization more from like this. Are people going to buy as many servers in the future as they do now? Because that drives our business as well. We test semiconductor chips, so they're not concerned about kind of the boiler room stuff. It's more what's happening in IT that's going to change the business, right? That's going to either drive end product revenue.
To me, it's Azmi Jaffrey. He's the CIO for Ipswitch, and a very well-known software company. What's the business model changed? It used to be WSFTP was free, and
yes, WSFTP was free and was very much a client product, and we have expanded since then and grown over all of these 20 years, and we now have 3 compelling product lines. One is secure FTP, and there we do have the client WSFTP, which you do have to pay for now.
Yes, you have to
but we also have a WSFTP server product. We acquired a company which brought us the MoveIt line of products. And we very recently acquired MessageWay, which really puts us in the enterprise. So that's what's happening on the FTP front. Then on network monitoring, we have the WhatsUp Gold product line, where we have introduced a number of plugins for doing things not just to monitor the network, but also measure things such as net flow. And so we have a fairly compelling and broad spectrum of products that you can now buy into, rather than just be concerned about things being up or down. And then we have a product called iMail, which is a messaging product where you can get rid of expensive servers and really buy our product and still use front ends like Outlook to do your mail.
I actually looked into that. So how big is the company? Is it headquartered here in Boston?
Yes, it is headquartered here in Boston. We have locations in Madison, Wisconsin, and then we have a couple of locations, Augusta and Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, cool.
And we now have a presence in in the Midwest
No.
with
Okay.
the purchase of MessageWave.
Well, as a CIO, are you responsible for internal only, or are you looking at product development also?
We are fairly unique in that we are an IT and operations group.
Right.
And some of what we do on the operations side related to releases and so on relate to external customers. We've also developed our own licensing system, which we think is really the industry's best, but it is used just by us. So that product licensing is something where we are interfacing with the outside world, both in terms of giving them a web environment for them to connect to, to find out about purchases and offerings and so on. So I would say that the group is probably 80% oriented towards internal needs and about 20% engaged with external needs.
Awesome. So how long have you been there?
I am going to be completing my 5th year in December.
Fifth year, okay, good. Out of the 20, I mean, again, Ipswich is a very well-known company. And,
Yes.
So keep the products coming.
Yes, absolutely. And we are really excited to be where we are and growing at quite a fast pace and making headway now into the enterprise, whereas we had sold to small and mid-sized companies for the longest time.
Well, and thank you for being here. John Nolet, he's with Blue Socket. Good morning.
Good morning, Tony.
Thank you for being a sponsor for multiple events, and you guys are doing a quick presentation today. What's Blue Socket?
Blue Socket is a wireless vendor in the local area network space.
Okay.
Really, we've actually been a secure gateway for about the past 10 years
Okay.
for multiple wireless access point vendors. We really kind of now jumped into about the last 3-4 years as an actual access point company manufacturer ourselves. And most recently launched our virtual wireless LAN solution, which we're going to be talking more now is you're able to take our image of your typical controller-based model and take our image of our controller and put it on any type of platform for a server. The IBM X3250 or any IBM platform. Now with the hypervisor, it could be anybody's actual server, which is a really nice solution because we're now not forcing customers to buy our platform of servers. And really what we're seeing today is people are pushing more and more hardware at the problem with servers, whereas actually we're taking the approach of let's put more intelligent APs out at the edge and becoming a fully distributed architecture, which is really minimizing that carbon footprint, which is a nice approach.
That's pretty smart.